Hello friends, welcome to my channel Botanical Studies. In this video, we will discuss about plant-water relationship, water transport process. Let us discuss now the water transport process. Water present in the soil is absorbed and then transported to the surrounding atmosphere through root and shoot system of the plant. Underground root system is considered as water absorbing system, while the aerial shoot system is considered as water transpiring system. There are many processes involved in this transport of water from soil to the atmosphere, and all these processes are known as water transport process. Some of the important water transport processes are absorption of water, water transport through tracheids and vessels, and finally transpiration. Absorption of water. Absorption of water in plants is a vital process which is very important for the growth of plants and other metabolic activities. Due to water holding capacity of soil particles, a good amount of water is retained in the soil as a soil water. The soil water exists in three different forms: capillary water, hygroscopic water, and chemically combined water. Out of these three forms, plant utilizes capillary water, which is present in between non-colloidal soil particles. In higher plants, the mechanism of water absorption is through the root hairs. Absorption of water in the plants is a biological process which can be defined as the uptake of capillary water by the root hairs of a plant from the soil to the root xylem by many ways like respiration, transpiration, and osmosis. Plant mainly absorbs capillary water from the soil. Mechanism of water absorption. The movement of water from the soil to the root xylem occurs by the following stages through the root hairs. In the first step, there is an absorption of water by the root hairs of the plant through the process of osmosis. The soil has high water concentration than the cell sap. Therefore, water will move from the higher concentration to the lower concentration following the process of osmosis through the cytoplasmic membrane of the root hairs. After entering into the root hair, the water will cross the epidermis of the root system. Then the water will move from the epidermis to the root cortex. From the root cortex, the water will then move to the endodermis. Then water moves from the pericycle to the root xylem, protoxylem and metaxylem. Thus, water will store in the xylem root system, which the plant body uses to perform various metabolic activities and most importantly for its growth. This diagram represents the pathway of water absorption in plant. The water is absorbed from the soil by the root hairs. Then it is passes to epidermis, then to the cortex, then endodermis, then pericycle, and next to the root xylem. Theories for the mechanism of water absorption. There are two different views or theories about the mechanism of water absorption: active absorption theory and passive absorption theory. Active absorption theory. As per the active absorption theory, water is absorbed as a result of various activities in the cells of root system and not due to any physiological processes in the aerial shoot system. The two important groups of theories are osmotic theories and non-osmotic theories. First, osmotic theories. The water is absorbed due to differences in the osmotic pressure between soil water and the cell sap. The osmotic pressure in the soil water is slow due to less solute concentration, while osmotic pressure in the cell sap is high due to higher solute concentration. Water enters the cell by endoosmosis from the region of less solute concentration to the region of higher solute concentration. Non-osmotic theories. Absorption of water is an active process and it is not carried out simply by osmosis but also due to non-osmotic reasons. The energy supplied to the process by respiration. The relation between respiration and non-osmotic absorption of water can be observed in the form of wilting of root cells in waterlogged soils, indicating respiration is essential to maintain turgidity in the cells. Respiratory inhibitors reduces the rate of water absorption, also indicates that respiration is essential for absorption. Process of absorption is observed only in living cells, indicating that respiration is required for this process. Passive absorption theories. According to theories of passive absorption, activities in the cells, mainly in the aerial organs, are responsible for absorption of water by the root system. The suction force, essentially for absorption of water by the roots, originates in the shoot system due to transpiration in the aerial organs. The rate of water absorption and transpiration are approximately equal. This view is supported by many observations like the rate of absorption is as per the rate of transpiration. Transpiration pulls is a force which helps the movement of water against osmotic gradient. It is purely a physical process, not requiring energy. Rate of absorption of water is much faster than rate of normal diffusion, especially when transpiration rate is very high in aerial organ. Let us discuss now the vascular tissue in the plant, xylem. The most important feature of vascular plant is the presence of vascular tissue. Vascular tissue in the form of xylem and phloem. Xylem transports and stores water and water-soluble nutrients, while phloem is responsible for transporting sugars, proteins, and other organic molecules in plants. The vascular tissue, xylem and phloem, originated just behind the apical meristematic region of the root and the shoot system and form a continuous system into other organs such as leaves, branches, flowers, and fruits. Xylem tissue is responsible for the transport of water, dissolved minerals, and small organic molecules upward through the plant body, that is, from the root through the stem to aerial organs. Xylem, which is a water conducting tissue. Xylem consists of fibers, parenchyma cells, and tracheary elements, including tracheids and vessels. Fibers. Fibers are very elongated cells and their main function is to provide mechanical support. Parenchyma cells. Xylem parenchyma cells carried out the function like storage and lateral translocation of solids. Parenchyma cells is a living cells. Tracheary elements including tracheids and vessels, they carried out conduction of water. Out of these four elements of xylem, the three elements are dead and only one element is living. The three dead elements are fibers, tracheids, and vessels, while parenchyma cells are living cells. Tracheary elements. The tracheary element consists of both tracheids and vessels. Tracheids are longer and narrow than the vessels. Both the tracheary elements are highly specialized xylem cells and the principal water conducting elements. Tracheary elements are present in the form of dead cells. When these cells mature and start functioning, they form an interconnected network of non-living cells. The cells of tracheids and vessels are elongated with heavy and thick secondary walls. Secondary wall consisting of cellulose, lignin, hemicellulose, which covers the primary wall. The movement of water between tracheids is known as pit pairs in the secondary wall. The pit pairs are the round thin places where the cells are separated only by primary wall. Such regions are in the form of hollow core with the middle lamella of two adjacent cells forming pit membrane. The pit membrane are with small openings or pore known as pit apertures, which permits relatively free passage for water and solids. The pits are complex structure called border pits. In border pits, secondary wall extends over the center of the pit, forming circular border around the central hollow lumen. In such border pits, the central primary wall in the pit membrane region or solon forming a wall-like structure called torus. Torus controls the movement of water and sometimes stops the water movement by sealing the pit. Let us discuss now the water transport through tracheids. As we know, the tracheids are in the form of single cells which are cylindrical, usually narrow and with tapering ends. With their tapering ends, successive tracheids overlap each other. Due to such overlapping ends in the tapering parts, pits allows the water to move upward from one tracheid cell to the next cell. Water moves between adjacent tracheids either vertically or laterally through the pit pairs in the overlapping region. The movement of water is facilitated by opening in the pit membrane. Let us discuss now the water transport through vessels. Vessels are very long tube-like tracheary elements made up of barrel-shaped individual units known as vessel membrane. At maturity, when vessels are ready for functioning, the end walls of vessel membrane get dissolved and forms opening called perforation plates. Due to presence of perforation plates, there is a less resistance to water flow in the vessels than in the tracheids. Vessel membranes get the necessary mechanical support and strength by deposition of secondary wall material. As compared to tracheids, the vessel membranes are usually wide and it is useful for rapid movement of water. So this is all about water